Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here into that. What I do. I'm gonna transform the lab into a classroom because I got some good knowledge that I'm gonna lay on you. I got a few pages of information that I want to go through, so get your popcorn, get comfortable. I'm about to do what I do for you. Let's go. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. Message and story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive now. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission. Yeah, and I'm on it. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment. That's the goal of all right thinkers, aka know thyself. That's my mission, is to get all right thinkers to do just that. But the information I give you, you tune in to get that, and that's what it's for, to do just that. Help you know thyself. Let's go. I asked the question, do you know you? If it's rhetorical, if you don't have the answer, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows, but knows not that they know, is spiritually asleep. I'm the spiritual law clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know, not regular, they're wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you, right thinkers. Know thyself, and to my that be true. I was in the going down memory lane. Look what I pulled out. Okay. I got Egyptian Yoga, African Religion, Volume 2. This is the book I gave to my son a few years ago. I gave it to him. He didn't say that. So for a little while, I get in the car, but pretty much like 6 months later, the book still So I said, "Oh man, you check the book out?" He said, "Dad, all due respect, this new stuff you're doing, that's cool. But the stuff you gave me is working for me. I couldn't knock it. So I took the book back. So we're gonna go from the book. I'm gonna got about 30 pages of information. That's good stuff. So get ready. That's what I'm about to lay on you. Okay. It's called Putting It All Together. It's the last chapter of this book. That's what it really is. Okay. And what we're gonna do is the mind and the elements of human consciousness. When you put it all together, God says, I became God, one, and then become three. Meaning, once He created creation, everything came in duality. He's the only singular thing in creation. That's the start. So understand that. But we're going to get into elements of human consciousness. Okay? Let's go. In chapter 1 through 3, in this volume early in the book, we didn't go through that, so this don't even pertain to you. But what we did, we discussed at length what the supreme wisdom, that's what the book is about, teaching wisdom of what the microism, which is the outer universe, the mystical teachings related to what the Trinity have been explored, and we have seen how what the divine self has come into existence. How? As the universe as well as human consciousness. However, how does this conscious operate? That's what we want to know. How does this consciousness operate from what? A practical point of view. How does the consciousness of who? The divine self, the spirit, God, operate and manifest through the human personality? This is the part where you start paying attention. Why? It's about to get good. All right. In this section, we will begin to what? Explore the mysticism of human spiritual constitution in a more detailed aspect. Now, the title is The Mind and Its Origin. That's the start. You see right here is a diagram. Whenever you see this diagram right here, they're showing you the center part. That's you, at the dot in the circle, starting with you, the soul. Then you work your way out with the consciousness. Then you got intellect consciousness. You got intellect consciousness and the body, which is going to be the physical part of you. I'm going to break that down for you. Hope you get a better understanding. But that's what we're talking about, and I'm trying to explain it to you. Hopefully you understand it. We'll see my teacher skills. It's pretty good. I think they are. All right, let's go. The question of who is God. We all should have a question, and there should be an answer. And if you're dealing with higher intellect, say somebody who understands and knows things, they can give you an answer. Whether you like it, agree with it, don't make a difference. It's an answer to a question that you previously didn't have an answer to. So whatever you do with the answer, it's on you. So understand that. Where do, and watch this, who is God? And the other one is, where do humans beings come from? We're explored in a unique way, watch this, in this book, The Egyptian Yoga, The Philosophy of Enlightenment. We're going to tell you, explain to you how to become enlightened, what it's all about. Philosophy, I'm telling you. These ideas had been approached from a mystical view, reflecting of the ancient Egyptian teachings of what? Mystical wisdom. For the first time, listen, that book received such a wide distribution and popularity that it spawned what? The creation of the present volume, which delves even deeper into the heart of the mystical origins of life and how that wisdom may be used to what? Discover and understand the mysteries of life itself. All the questions you have about life, if you have a preceptor, a teacher, a sage, you can ask those questions and she will answer for you. After that, it's up to you to figure it out for yourself. I can give you the answer. I can't solve it for you in your own mind. You got to figure that out for yourself. You got one, same like I do. Use it like I do. Moving on. I tell you, use your head for something other than a hat rack. And yeah, I use mine as a hat rack, but I use it for something else also. So, yeah. I'm on top of that too. What is the mind and what is its origin and purpose? Good question again. Now, this volume will present the ancient Egyptian wisdom related to the mystical psychology. Here we go. We didn't need psychiatrists. Why? We psychoanalyzed ourselves as we went. That's the difference. It will show you how the sage of ancient Egypt understood and recorded what? The highest knowledge of all. That which relates to what? The soul. That's what we started with in the middle. That's the dot. And the mind of what? A human being and the relationships to what? The higher self. Stay with me. Come on now. In this book, The Egyptian Yoga, which is my first one, that's my Bible. This is volume 2. The Egyptian Philosophy of Enlightenment. I learned that over 10 years ago. The hidden properties of what? Matter. We explored the teachings related to the primeval ocean. We keep using that as the example. From which what? God emerged using what? Listen, a thought in his or her heart. You see what it said? God, his or her. That means God is androgynous. It's male and female. Why? He impregnated himself and got pregnant by himself. So he's both sides. From one, he became three. That's how he did it. Okay, they all come from me, as he tell you. He tell you everything came from me. This thought, watch this, is what? The subsequent one that occurred, caused everything to what? Appear in creation by what? The mere willing of the supreme being. Let's just begin. Okay. We talk about the word Heka, words of power. God exhibited that by bringing himself into existence. We made in his image. We can take a thought, the heart starts in the heart, it goes to the mind, and then you project it into power. manifestation, they call it. Okay, watch this. Now, the schematic I showed you, it says it's a two-dimensional schematic drawing of what? The mystical interpretation of the levels of human consciousness. Keep telling you the levels and degrees to everything. Based on what? The Trinity system of ancient Egypt. The unconscious intellect, mind, senses, sense organs, and physical body constitutes what? Listen, the ego personality. I told you, you identify yourself. That's the ego self. Trust me. Watch this. The ego self, watch this. No, it's the soul. Watch this. Now, the soul is eternal, while the ego is what? Transient and perishable. The ego is therefore what? A limited, temporary what? Expression of the soul, and not the absolute abiding reality. Your conscious is what you think. Your mind controls thought process. Okay, understand that. And the primeval ocean was, watch this. This primeval ocean was and still is the undifferentiated mass of what? Pure consciousness. Pure consciousness meaning knowing before it happens. Before we was here, he made preparations for us to be here for eternity in the physical matter. He also got a place we have for the spirits to go in eternity to rest for eternity. These are concepts. It's concepts. So understand that. So let's go. We're dealing with concepts, not actual fact. No, we just give you concept. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. If you believe it, like anything else, y'all make miracles out of superstitions. So I know you can take the truth and manifest it for yourself. That's the beauty part of right thinking philosophy. Here you go. Now, this primeval ocean was and still in the undifferentiated mass of pure consciousness. Watch this. Is devoid of thoughts or ideas. It just simply exists. That's the noon. Anything is possible, but it just don't matter. It just don't care. Until Ra decided to do something, that's when it starts shaking up. But it's always going to be there. Okay, it's in existence beyond time and space. That's what it does. Watch this. It's just simply. It just simply exists. Therefore, had no potential to become anything. No original thought waves of the Supreme Being or the cosmic mind rippled through the primeval ocean at the time, causing it to what? Assume the appearance of the universe. Now we're starting to get something. Now, despite what? This appearance, however, the essence of creation, what? Remains the same as it was before creation. Again, pure creation is what? Undifferentiated matter. The supreme being does what? Creates by reflecting again his or her thought. They don't separate the male and the female. They don't know. Religion, Catholicism done that. Man and woman was always united as one. Why? Because that's the only way we can survive. That's why. Perfect. So let's move on. So the reflection of his or her thought and the willpower onto what? The primal ocean of consciousness, meaning he makes stuff happen just by the thought. Thereby, watching this, causing it to what? Differentiate. Now he's starting to make stuff happen into what? Different names and forms. Starting with Ra, the sun. Okay. Now the cosmic mind willed for life forms to what exist, and among these human beings came into existence. He again thought willed us into existence, and the physical body was the idea. They took good claim that good, yeah, but what he put in us is of him. Again, we are gods and goddesses just in the flesh, having a human experience. Okay, now watch this. Now you got human existence, and it's a special especially because why? Human beings possess what? A brain? No, about it. No. Listen, the cosmos is based on a nervous system. Nervous system, meaning the interactions of the body is working from the inside, not the outside. And that's what makes us human beings special and unique. And guess what? What's this potentially reflect the nervous system, which can potentially reflect cosmic consciousness in its full state, meaning you can become conscious of who you are in the flesh. However, watch this, the human mind is limited. There we go. Here comes the problem. The human mind, well, how we don't do that for no? Because the human mind is limited and its ability to what? Process information gathered through what? The senses because of the conditioning, and the senses are also limited. We got five senses. I can smell it, I can see it, I can hear it, I can touch it, and then if it's safe, I can eat it. That's the five senses. But what makes those things go? The mind. So the thought process, which is the eyebrow, you see the eye, this is the thought process. One, smell. The eye itself, the sight. Three, the hear. Four is the touch. Five is the sense. Six is the thought process. Okay, right thinking. You got to have thinking. Watch this. And because the senses are all limited, as we discussed previously, we talked about it before. Therefore, what? The human being only reflects what? A small portion of the cosmic being. And unless enlightened, is not aware of what? The ocean of existence of which he or she is part of. Meaning spiritually, we don't know who we are. Just like the water in the ocean. It thinks it's just a drop of water. That's us in the cosmic, in the microcosm of understanding the spirit and the soul. Our spirit is just like the ocean, everywhere. Every part of that ocean, just like the little drop of water, little speck, is part of God. Sometimes we forget that. We just got finished doing a lesson about we are one. Just sometimes that's why I brought this up. I was reading the book, so it's going to tie into my last lesson I gave about knowing that we are all one. This proves it. So I'm doing my thing. Let's go. Pay attention and you can get a whole lot of stuff out of here. So now watch this. Unless we got to realize who we are. We have a memory loss. Why? The memory is fresh. The conscious that we built in, when the spirit comes to the body, the conscious is the only thing that's new. Everything else pretty much the same. This had to be connected to this. Heart, mind, coherence. I keep telling you that. And it says, and the heart is felt, and the mind is thought, and the word brings out to action. Trinity of manifestation. It's always been that way. Let me move on. I know I got a lot of stuff to do here. Now, the problem lies with what? The condition of the human mind. Why? Therefore, the solution lies with what? The same mind. Well, they say Einstein said you can't. The mind that caused the problem is the same mind that can't solve the problem. This says otherwise. Who you want to believe, Einstein or me? I'm just saying. Watch this. For this reason, here you go. The teaching, the mind is both what? The cause of bondage and also the source of release. So they're right in that aspect. Why? I tell you, my concept is your body can be your prison or your temple. Your choice. That's what they're telling you right here. Same thing. Again, when we learn something, we can present it our way. I didn't change it. I'm just putting it a different way to mean the same thing. So that's what teachings are about, as far as I'm concerned. That's my concept, my idea. But watch this. Now, you can release from the world of time and space was developed. And a human being, watch this, who is what? Unaware of his or her divine nature. Again, ignorant of yourself. Ignorant means not knowing. That's all. And we are born ignorant, not in the sin. Oh, we born sinners. No. Don't get that concept. I hate people say that. They swear they on time. No, you're not. And they believe this, so I'm not going to have that argument. I'll let them have their way. Again, people who think they know, believe they know, and don't know, just leave them alone. Avoid them. That's the best way to go. But watch this. Because of their ignorance of their divine nature, this state of mind is known as what? Hello, my word, ignorance. They define the word after telling you about it. So I was a little ahead of the game. But this state, watch this, of ignorance is what we live in, most of us, causes what? You, the individual, to be what? Bound to the sufferings of human existence, even though in reality, he or she is deep down connected to the Supreme. We all don't know that, but that's the real deal. Whether you know it or not, it's still what it is. Watch this. You still deep down connected to the Supreme, all-powerful divine self, God. If you think you just in this world by yourself, when I got in trouble, I was ignorant. But I knew one thing, man, start praying. We don't start praying until we get ass out. Do nothing else. All we got is God. And we think we're going somewhere. What you do going inside yourself? I didn't know that then, but where else you gonna go? I got nothing else on the shelf. Where am I going? Inside yourself. So understand that. Stop looking outside there. I learned that a long time ago. I know God ain't out there nowhere. He's right inside here. Please understand that, young people. I want my young people to know where God is. There's nothing else. Don't be fabricating this concept, but he's out somewhere. Learn and understand he's inside you, and you can do all things. That's the key. They say Christ. Okay, if that's what works for you, that's what gets you to do it, by all means. Moving on. So therefore, the state of being is also referred to as, again, bondage. Meaning you're bonding yourself to scenarios that you have nothing to do with. Why? Because you're ignorant of what you should and need to be doing for yourself. So you're doing what comes natural. That's the ego self, and that's going to keep you fettered. Bondage, ignorance, all those things are going to keep you down. The soul, watch this, unaware of its divine nature, associates itself with the ideas of the mind and thereby what? Believes. That's that word. Thereby, ignorant people believe itself to what? Be limited human being who originated at a particular point, born in history, and will what? Cease to exist in the future. At some point in the future. That's ignorant. That's the ego mentality of I, me, nothing else. The teachings, watch this, and the practice of what? Right thinking philosophy or yoga and the mystical religion are what? Listen, designed to do what? Dispel what? The ignorance from which the soul suffers, thereby helping it to what? Regain the spiritual knowledge and experience of its true nature through what? Which is immortal, eternal, and infinite through righteous and virtuous living. I'm at my max with this lesson. I'm going to cut it short. No, I'm going to finish it up. Calm down. I'm almost there. Each human mind is like a ray of consciousness emanating from the cosmic mind, aka God. He gave each and every one of us our own consciousness from himself. Remember, he's the ultimate. Remember, so the mind may be what? Understood as a bundle of thoughts, and that's what it is. Your ability to meditate, control, and focus those thoughts is what's going to help you get where you want to go in life. Thoughts are what? Movements or vibrations, and what? Consciousness, much like sound, is a set of movements of vibrations. In the unenlightened state, here you go, listen. The mind is beset by what? Thought vibrations that prevent it from knowing itself as being connected to the vast ocean of consciousness, aka God. It is like a calm lake into which a stone is thrown and tossed, just as the stone causes what? Agitation of the lake and stirs up the sediment, which in turn block what? The view from the surface to the bottom. You can't see clear to the lake. So these thoughts and vibrations agitate the lake of consciousness within your mind and blocks its view of what? The divine self, which is its deepest essence. They confuse the human mind and cause it to what? Believe itself to be separate and distinct, aka individual, me, I, to the feeling of individuality. I love it. The mind experiences the plagues of what? Egoism. Again, that's a major problem. And if you are not aware of that concept, your mind is just wasting your time. Why? Because you're going to keep doing, spinning your wheels, buffering, going nowhere, doing nothing. Why? You can't figure out what to do. And when the mind experiences the plagues of egoism, watch this, in the form of fear, false evidence appearing real. That's the first problem with the weak mind. It's based on fear. Why? Lack of knowledge, because of ignorance. You have fear, anxiety, agitated, and what happens? Frustration and your worldly desires. When you don't get them, you feel sorrowful and you're disappointed, etc. See where that's going? It's constantly nothing good. Nothing, just keep going around and around. A lot of us spend our life doing just that. Wonder what? Oh, I can't get a grip. Nothing breaking for me. Everything ain't nothing going my way. See? Change what you're doing. If what you're doing ain't working, you can keep doing it. That's the definition of insanity. If it ain't working, why you keep doing it? If what I did yesterday didn't work, I can't look forward to doing it tomorrow. Why it ain't work yesterday? Calm down. Sorry about that. I get a little annoyed, but okay, moving on. Just because I'm adamant about taking care of a situation that you can control, you should be taking care of it. That's the whole concept about having a mind and being able to think for yourself. Where we at? All right, sorry about that. Now, here you go. The world, here you go, the cosmic self, but this would end, watch this, this would end the sense of your individuality and enable what? The expansion of the individual's what? Consciousness. Expand your mind. Ultimately leading to what? The discovery of who? Supreme Self, aka self. The individual would discover his or her identity again, not as a limited individual personality, which is the ego self, but as an immortal Haru. You didn't get there yet, but that's who you want to be. But the immortal transcendental expression of the divine, which again is Haru. That's where all right things want to go. The individual would see what? The illusionariness of his or her individual human personality, and all that exists is a part of the divine self. Once you recognize yourself as part of God, you become an enlightened being. Moving on, I'm about to wrap it up. The theme of self-discovery or know thyself is the underlying meaning of the Egyptian teaching right thinking philosophy also, wherein you, the initiate right thinker, discovers his or her oneness with the universe. And the book of coming forth by day, it says, I am yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I have the power to what? Be born a second time. I am the source from which the gods arise. That's the end of this lesson. I got more, so be prepared.